Yo, what's going on? My name is Wee. In this video, I'm going to talk about how TJR Trades is doing over 300K a month with info in steps. And you're probably wondering what I mean by info. I'm talking about info products. So info products, for example, could be like mentorship programs, courses, things of that nature. In this case for TJR, I'm talking about mentorship programs, and how I'm going to show you how he does is by how he, gets traffic, how he actually funnels the traffic, and how to correctly kind of convert that traffic. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm gonna show you exactly how he funnels all the traffic, how he gets, all those eyeballs on, his brand, the type of funnels that he implements to, actually convert or not convert.
And yeah, the type of funnel he uses to, turn.
I would implement to actually maximize his kind of cash that he gets. So let's talk about how TJR Trades actually gets all his traffic. So the main platforms he's on to to push his personal brand, get hella eyeballs is first Instagram, YouTube. He's also on TikTok as well, and Twitter. But yeah, let's first just talk about what he does on Instagram. So on Instagram, you can see he has a pretty big following right here, about 700K followers, which is pretty huge. One thing I would note is that he basically, his link right here is where he's pushing all his traffic to his landing page, which I'll talk about the landing page a little bit later. And also you can see these are all kind of type of story highlights he has, and you can see that these are mainly just highlights of like testimonials from the kind of stuff he sells, basically his info products. So yeah, the reason why he does this, you can see why he has testimonials like 4, 3, 2, and even 1, is just because it increases his authority and perception. When people see all these testimonials and they keep clicking on it, like, wow, he has so much, it increases perception, which will basically mean allow him to have more conversions. That's the kind of content or stories, kind of content you want to have on your IG, for example, because your IG is kind of like your resume. When people see that kind of stuff, it's just like, wow, this dude has, a ton of like stuff to back it up. But yeah, let's go next into kind of what TJ focuses on. Basically, the kind of content he posts, and his is actually a little different compared to a lot of these like other creators or trading creators specifically. Is that he does a lot of yapping, a lot of just raw talking head video, which is honestly really good because people get to really know TJR as a person. They get to understand, see his personality in full light and see all that. And that's very important, especially in the trading niche, because in the trading niche, there's so much scammers, so much scammers. People are scamming, like pretty much, I know like 90% of the program, people are like scamming and stuff. So it has a really kind of bad name to it when you hear about trading. People, especially in today's market where we're in like a trust kind of recession, which basically means, people aren't trusting as much. So it's really hard to earn people's trust, and how he breaks through that, and how TJR does that is just by straight up making videos. Like literally, you can see some of his most recent reels is just talking about how he woke up and was gambling with Togi and stuff like that. Like, it's as real and as genuine as it gets. It's literally live. And then occasionally what he'll also do, he's throwing a couple trading videos, as you can see right here, a couple trading breakdowns of like just trades he makes. So it still shows people, his audience, that he's legit, he knows what he's doing, he's still making trades, and he's making X amount or whatever. Or even if he even takes losses, he's also transparent about that as well. So yeah, one thing I want to make note is like most of these reels, I can tell is that on Instagram he isn't really trying to sell anything through his reels. Like I noticed on a lot of the posts I was looking at, he had like no call to actions, no, like you'll see probably like a lot of people's posts on IG is like, yo, DM me a current like a keyword or comment a keyword on their post, but he doesn't do none of that. He just straight up just yaps. And this, like I say, it's very important because he's just trying to emphasize that he's not really focused on selling something to his audience. He's not portraying that he's just like a straight guru selling, like a sellout, just trying to make money. Like I said, yeah, all his content is just showing his personality, which is very important as people buy into people. So people, just understand and like him better, they're more likely to actually buy from him down the line. And then one thing I want to make note, he has like a page called TJR Trades, which is basically, he said, his alt account, but it's basically kind of like a clipping channel. And this is really good. It's just basically clips that they post from, from podcasts he's in, from just his content, stuff like that. And this is really good for getting like eyeballs and traffic, especially in 2025. Right now, it's like the meta. Like if you're not clipping, if you're not like a big creator, or any creator type of creator, you should be clipping and pushing out your content. It's literally free. It's way better than doing like paid ads and stuff like that, in the sense that like the return is you would probably say pay someone like $100 something, and you could get even upwards to like a couple million of views. If you compared that to ads, you would have to like pay a lot more just to get that amount of traffic and eyeballs on like your brand / offer. And yeah, that's what he does for clipping. And I know for sure TJR has a lot of clippers both on IG and TikTok. I keep seeing, like, I'll be real, on my For You page, I see a lot of his content on my feed. That could just be me though, but yeah, he has a lot of people clipping for his brand, which is really good. And that's probably what helped a lot, amass his followers of now like 724K. But yeah, enough about Instagram. Let's talk about YouTube next, where he has over 500,000 subscribers and is honestly the best platform to be, because that's going to be where his most nurtured leads are. You see, Instagram is just going to be like the kind of like top of funnel, where the goal is you want to kind of like funnel them onto like his YouTube, for example. Why you want to funnel people to your YouTube and why it's like one of the places with the most nurtured leads is literally because you can see these videos are like over 49 minutes, 2 hours, 45, damn near 2 hours again. Like, this basically what I'm trying to say is the more content they consume, the more nurtured they are. I think there's like a research somewhere that says like after someone consumes over like 7 hours of your content, they're more likely to buy something from you because they're nurtured, they know who you are as a person, they trust and like you basically. And that's what he does in these kind of videos. And as for his YouTube strategy, what I've noticed is that TJR does a lot of raw live trading, as you can see right here. Raw live trading video, raw live trading video, another raw live trading video. He does a lot of these, and it's really good because it not only does it nurture the leads, it's in these videos, I don't know if you guys ever watched TJR trades, but he's honestly a personality. He is what I call like one of the most brain rot creator. Like, he's so brain rot, but that's what gets people to really like him, fuck with him. Like, a lot of his audience though, I've seen a lot of comments like, yo, I can't tell my mom, can't tell my parents, this is like my mentor right here, kind of thing. But yeah, it's just funny stuff in the comments because they all just really like him just because he's showing his personality. And yeah, his videos have a lot of undeniable proof as well. Literally, he's showing you how he made like 205,000 or like 163K, stuff like that. He's literally breaking it all down for you guys, live proof, showing all his P&L and stuff like that. His thumbnails are like a mix of just trade breakdown thumbnails, some more professional thumbnails depending on what kind of content it is. As for his personality, I already touched on it, but yeah, he shares a lot personal experiences and results on his videos, stuff like that. And yeah, he's very transparent about his wins and losses. As you can see here, he even talks about his loss right here, how he lost 53K. He traded while hammered, like I'm saying. He's just genuine, showing as real as it gets, things like that. And like I said, very brain rot. People just trust and like him a lot because of that. And yeah, his connection to his audience, honestly, his audience probably connects to him just because he's Gen Z, he's cool, he's funny, things like that. And yeah, as you can see by his content, like I said, I was talking about the trading breakdowns. These are really good, very nurturing. He has a couple of top of funnel content like this one right here, and this one as well, and some more posts like a day in the life of a 22-year-old millionaire, which just shows authority. Now let's kind of get into like kind of the type of links he has in his description. So the first link you can see right away, straight off the bat, is join his mentorship. Yep, that's how he funnels people into his mentorship. You also have like his indicator bundle on WAP, get his free course, his broker, which I'm guessing is affiliate, and another WAP kind of affiliate. So yeah, he's definitely probably affiliated with WAP and things of like that. One thing I noticed is for his like join the mentorship, what I would do is I'll optimize it a bit by being more specific on the ICP. Like if you're a struggling like trader, struggling to be consistent, struggling to be like profitable, click this link, join my mentorship. So he focuses on its ICP and more of the right people actually click on it. But yeah, that's basically what he does on YouTube, and I know for sure what he's doing right now on YouTube is literally printing him money just based on like the kind of content he makes. But besides YouTube, let's kind of talk about his other two platforms I want to talk about, which is TikTok and Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, TikTok, he has about 600K followers, and TikTok is pretty similar to just basically like his Instagram, where he's just yapping again, a lot of just more yapping content, showing off his personality, things like that. Not really being too guru-y, salesy, just being brain rot, being funny, just being himself really, and people like I said, like that and resonate with that. Whole goal that he's doing on this is he's just getting more eyeballs on his personal brand and just pushing that out and growing his personal brand. And what he does is that he drives all the traffic to a free course funnel, which I'll get into in a bit. But yeah, that's what he does in TikTok. Now let's see what he kind of does on like X, Twitter. So yeah, honestly, his link to his Twitter just links to kind of like a link tree with all of his links. Honestly, Twitter, again, I'm sure you guys are getting kind of like a pattern, seeing a pattern is he's not really trying to sell anything. Like literally he tweets stuff that's kind of just like more brain rot, just him yapping online like that. He's not really posting stuff like nurturing leads, posting valuable stuff, or doing like CTAs to, you know, his stuff or his info products. He's just, you know, being himself. And yeah, he's just a really genuine guy showing off his personality on the internet that, you know, just became rich, became a millionaire. Yeah, honestly, I think what TJR does, he's literally trying to portray people that like he's literally just like us regular people, you could say, but he's just a millionaire. And yeah, a lot of people will fuck with that. But enough of that rambling. But yeah, now let's get into the funnel and how he actually, what he does to actually funnel all of his people or all of his, you know, eyeballs and traffic. So the two funnels that TJR uses is, so he uses a VSL funnel. So yeah, I first want to talk about the VSL funnel. And yeah, this is the kind of like all on his links that you have, like the landing page, his link right here, his link right here. They all redirect to this page right here. This is the first thing you see. And you can see he has his ICP right here, which is targeting people who want to become profitable traders, which is basically like their desired situation. And just showing them that the system that he has is going to allow them to do that. So yeah, he has his ICP dialed in. And once you click the here join button, you get popped up. You get redirected to his VSL right here. And the VSL is basically talking about how it focuses on his audience pain points, focus on the goal, which is basically them becoming consistently profitable, and basically show them how they can do that, and like the kind of transformation they'll get by, you know, joining his program. And yeah, you can really see in his throughout the VSL that he's really dialed in on his ICP and kind of knows exactly who he is targeting. He's not targeting everyone. He's targeting a specific type of trader. And yeah, after you finish watching the VSL, he'll then tell you to do the next step 2, which is basically filling out a type forms and, you know, seeing if you're qualified. And yeah, I have the list of questions he has right here. He basically asks, you know, what do you think your biggest obstacle is when it comes to trading? Ask for your email, ask how old you are, ask, you know, what would you hope to gain out of working with TJR? And the two most important questions basically see if you're qualified is, do you have any source of income at the moment? And are you capable to invest right now? Meaning, are you able to invest capital into your mentorship, into the mentorship program, basically. And yeah, after you fill out the form, you'll then get redirected to this page right here, basically saying that, hey, we're reviewing your application, and, you know, the team will contact you within 48 hours with an update. So basically, he's letting the team know that, you know, they're going to contact you if you're qualified. Basically, if you have enough money, if you're qualified, then someone is going to call you up. And one thing I would say, what I would do instead of just, you know, pushing all of them to just like this page right here, showing that, you know, you know, people are reviewing your application, what I would do is redirect them to like a video instead, playing that's basically going to break down their next steps of like what's going to happen, how the team's going to contact you, stuff like that. You know, just get them hyped and excited as well, letting them know, you know, they made a great fucking decision and that, you know, their life is about to be changed. And lastly, telling them that, you know, it's not a scam, like things like that, lowering their guard and, you know, things like that. And then lastly, I noticed he kind of has like a $17 ebook, which I'm guessing, I don't know if he's running ads. He might be using that to offset the cost of ads, and or just getting them into some sort of ascension funnel. I'm not gonna buy, so I'm not too sure. But yeah, that's his first funnel that he uses, the VSL. Honestly, one of the best funnels to use. It works. It prints like crazy. And yeah, if you're like a coach or creator, you want, you know, someone to implement this for you, tap in with the link below, and I can help you out build out this exact same funnel right here. But anyways, enough of the plugging. Let's talk about the next funnel that TJR uses, which is a free course kind of funnel. And yeah, how this funnel works is basically if people click on the link that, you know, they want access to free course, they'll get sent to this page right here. So telling them like, hey, this is access, you know, the free 3-hour day trading 101 course. And, you know, they just got to give their contact information in exchange to get access to it. And yeah, once they do that, you know, he collects the contact details, which he's most like, or for sure going to be using in future marketing through emails and even SMS. And then after he gets access, you get redirected to this page right here. And yeah, you're simply just going to fill out a couple questions, such as, you know, how much capital you have ready to or currently to trade with. It's on a scale 1 to 10. How would you rate your trading experience and level? And optional, just sharing more about your trading journey, your biggest strengths and obstacles. And if you're just looking to become a full-time trader, and why he does that and why he's asking these specific questions is he's just trying to gather more data and find out exactly what his ICP is. And, you know, just see if you're qualified or not. Because yeah, if you fill this out and let's say you have like, option C, you have $5,000 to $10,000 in your account, which basically means you got money, you're qualified. And then you talk about your journey, and you tell them like, yeah, well, you're ready to become a full-time trader. What he's probably has in the back end is a setter or a team in place that's gonna dial you up, because they got your number right here when you want it on access. So yeah, great funnel to have. And yeah, he does it pretty good. He gathers data, learns more about the ICP, which he uses to dial in his VSL funnel right here, as you saw earlier. So really great. And I'm sure he's getting some high conversions, but that's not it. So once you fill that form out, you then get redirected to the WAP, where he'll give you access to his free course right here. And yeah, you can see the WAP courses, the video links all right here, and he wasn't lying. Like, it's pretty much 3 hours of free content that he's giving you. This is really powerful. And yeah, this is really powerful because, especially in the trading space, there's a lot of, like I said, scammers, a lot of just gurus just trying to make a quick buck off you. So a lot of people don't really trust programs, courses like that in the trading space. So how he frames it is he's literally giving them free value. And yeah, he's literally giving them a free course. And if you guys remember earlier, like I was talking about kind of like the rule of the more content they watch from you, the more nurtured they get. And it takes up to like 7 hours of content to get someone from watching your content to actually buying something from you. So he's really nurturing these leads a lot. Like, that's 3 hours of content, they're getting nurtured. And let's say they watch a lot of his YouTube videos as well, and even like his IG content, that's going to add up to 7 hours easily. And you can just imagine how easy it is to convert those people. And yeah, you can even see how he converts is at the end of the call to action after they finish the whole course. You can see here, it's like, hey, if you made it this far, I have a gift for you. I want to give you, exclusive access to my new one-on-one trading mentorship. And yeah, it's basically like a CTA. And a lot of these people, after they actually watch the full course, I just know the conversions are really high, and they're actually booking calls and converting into his high ticket kind of mentorship program. So yeah, those are the two funnels that he uses. Great funnels that he has. He has it pretty dialed in, and he's cooking and he's printing. But I don't know exactly how he's converting all those leads, but let me break down exactly what I would do to convert all of his leads, the kind of sales process, to take them on and actually convert the most amount of money and print even crazier money. Yeah. So this is what I would do right here. So after the lead fills out the form, the sales team is going to basically handle the rest. So like I was talking about earlier, the setter is going to call every lead up and qualify them and then book them on a call. And yeah, the key here is speed to lead. And what that means is, you want to contact the speed as soon as possible. Yeah, you want to ideally call the leads within 10 to 15 minutes, but the earlier the better, like 5 to 10 could be even better. But yeah, so you want to really have a dialed sales team / backend team in place for that. And yeah, after they book the appointment with you, or yeah, with the lead, you want to make sure they consume some pre-call content. And what this does, this pre-call content is going to warm up the lead and just help with increasing the call itself, just increasing conversions and more likelihood for them to close. And some example of a pre-call asset, it could be like a pre-call video. You can call it like a pre-call training video or whatever framing you kind of want to do it. And here's some things you would put in the video. You would pre-sell them on the offer itself, handle some objections, pre-handle the objections, so on the call they're not asking these kind of questions or asking these objections. Talk about some frequently answered questions that they might have. Talk about this opportunity is like a really rare, unique opportunity that they present that to them, and then just go over some results and case studies. And yeah, you go through and break down all this in a video, they're just going to be so much warmer, so much nurtured, and more likely to close on the sales call. So yeah, not only do you want to watch or have them consume pre-call content, you want to have automatic reminders and manual reminders to make sure they show up to call and watch these kind of assets. So for automatic reminders, you want to just have like email and SMS reminders 24 hours, 6 hours, 1 hour, and 5 minutes before the call. And these email reminders, mind you, I want to explain, aren't just simple basic reminders showing them up, reminding them to show up to the call. No. You got to step up your game. And on these emails, you want to give them, want to nurture them even more. You can show them, you can send them like case study videos. Case study videos, just more of your content. It goes back to that rule that I was saying, you want to hammer them with content, as the more content they watch from you, the more higher likelihood that they have of converting and buying something from you. So that's what you would do in the emails. SMS would just be kind of short, would actually be texting reminders of the actual call itself, and just simple reminder, making them watch the pre-call assets videos. And then manually, what you want to do manually is after the setter books them in for a call and qualifies them, all that, you want to have the setter basically create a WhatsApp group chat with the lead and the closer. And yeah, why you want to do that is just it allows them to nurture the leads more, get an actual connection with the closer. So when they're actually on the call, since they've already been in contact with the closer, the guard is less down, and they just feel less like nervous, salesy, or just less tension on the call. And then yeah, once you make that group chat, you want to nurture them by sending them like the assets, the pre-call assets, tell them to watch that, and then also send manual reminders. This could be like 24 hours before the call, an hour before the call, and 5 minutes before the call. I just want to make sure, remind them to hop on the call. Actually, at the hour before, I would even have the setter dial them up an hour before the call and make sure that they will show up to the call. But yeah, if you implement all those systems I just broke down to you, then this is literally what TJR is gonna look like. Look, he's literally flexing the Richard Mille. I don't got one, but and then yeah, he's banking. Literally, his closers are gonna be like cashiers, like literally cash cardi in this bit. But yeah, that's basically how TJR. That's the wrap of this video. I basically just showed you guys how he gets all his traffic, how he funnels the traffic, and how to convert this leads. So hopefully that provided you some value. That was saucy. And yeah, if you're like a coach or creator, you want someone to implement this exact kind of systems into your business, feel free to tap in with the link below. And yeah, we'll see if I can help you out or whatever. But yeah, anyways, appreciate you guys watching the video, and have a good one.